We gather here today to wash away the filth that lurks within the library of the Nintendo Entertainment System. The purpose of this evening's ceremony is to chastise these abominations and excommunicate them entirely from existence in these sacred halls through sacrificial obliteration. Neither to reside in heaven nor hell, but utterly cast out into the void. I will now present my first offering of malfeasance. My first offering requires pixel-perfect platforming while using awkward isometric controls that were programmed by someone who eats soup with a knife. The hit detection and collisions are putrid. You're an elite fighting machine that can't walk on the grass nor swim. To enter the depths is to invite the weight of the water to steal your breath, drowning you in silence for all eternity. I sacrifice the last ninja.
Into the void!
The game was developed by Beam Software and was published as a new franchise to the NES by Jalico. However, it's actually a ported sequel to a series on the Commodore. Beam Software made some notoriously broken games on the NES, like Back to the Future, Power Punch 2, and The Three Stooges. A reading from the back of the box. As Armakuni, the master ninja of the 9th century, you are about to explore the greatest mystery in martial arts history. You are a stranger in the strange land of modern-day Manhattan, on the trail of the evil Shogun. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate the last ninja as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
Father Avram, step forward.
Yes, Archbishop.
Present your first offering of malfeasance.
My first offering is a menagerie of minigame misery. In order to fulfill your destiny and defeat the leader of this demonic carnival, you must complete all minigames without squandering your lives. The audio is bland as missionary sex. The controls are abhorrent. In every level, it is as if you steer a rolling log of shit downhill. The only saving grace happens to be the graphics, but it's a small token in comparison to the steaming tidal wave of human sewage this game truly is. I sacrifice Muppet Adventure, Chaos at the Carnival.
Into the void!
This abomination was developed by High-Tech Expressions and was released on multiple platforms, but didn't hit the shelves of the NES until 1990. This company was responsible for other such filth as Barbie and The Hunt for Red October, both in 1991. A reading from the back of the box. Yipes, the awful evil Dr. Grump has pignapped the lovely Miss Piggy and taken her to a secret carnival hideout. Now Kermit and the whole crazy Muppet crew need your help. Only your quick wrist, sharp wit, and some help from Kermit and the gang can defeat Dr. Grump and rescue the still lovely Miss Piggy. It's Muppet Mayhem. You'll want to play again and again. That's utter bullshit. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
The following offering is so bad it was the first and only time Nintendo was sued by a 9-year-old child for a refund. It is a baseball game that features yo-yo fielding physics with about as much elegance as the first time you found your naughty bits. The players move as if submerged in ice water, balls that bounce 3 times in the field and stop on a dime, and the ability for the second player to change the trajectory of their pitch mid-throw. Due to getting only the MLB license, and not the license of the MLB Players Association, players played for a team full of numbers rather than recognizable names. I sacrifice Major League Baseball.
Into the void!
The game was developed by Atlas. Yes, that Atlas. And published by the dreaded LJN. Together, this pair produced infamous releases on the NES like Friday the 13th, The Karate Kid, and Jaws. A reading from the back of the box. Sure, you've always wanted to be a professional baseball player, but have you ever thought about managing? Well, here's your chance to prove yourself both on and off the field. And because this is the only officially licensed Major League Baseball video game cartridge, you can actually play American and National League regular season games, All-Star games, and the World Series using your favorite teams, complete with home and away uniforms. This is real baseball, for real baseball fans. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate Major League Baseball as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
My next offering feels like a Tiger handheld shit out a poor excuse for a home console game. It's a super basic platformer with clunky jump mechanics that make you wish you were playing Donkey Kong. Aggravatingly, you start the game with 50 lives and must traverse the worst kind of platforming known to the NES through a screen-jumping maze of intestinal stench. I sacrifice Castlequest.
Into the void.
This most unholy transgressor was first developed by ASCII Corporation in 1985 for other platforms, but made its way to the NES in 1989 via the American division of ASCII, Nextsoft. Most notably for the NES, ASCII Corporation via Nextsoft was responsible for the Wizardry series. A reading from the back of the box. A long time ago in a faraway land, there lived a lovely young princess named Margarita. Her beauty and grace were known throughout the land, especially to Mad Miser, the Dark Lord of the grim Grocken Castle high in the Forbidden Mountains. He had vowed to make the princess his queen, and so one terrible day, he sent his ghoulish helpers to capture her, and she was carried off and imprisoned in one of the 100 miserable rooms of Grocken Castle. Finally, the news reached the worthy Prince Raphael, who had long loved the princess from afar. Raising his sword to the heavens, Prince Raphael swore that nothing would keep him from her side, and set out on his castle quest. The odds against him seemed hopeless, but legend has it that 2 magical fairies have been held captive in the castle for centuries. If the prince can find and release them to gain their help, he may yet succeed in his quest. And to rescue his fair princess, he is prepared to face the deadly wrath of the Dark Lord himself. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate Castlequest as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
My final offering is a deceitful siren that lures innocent gamers in with the harlot's paint. Masquerading behind the name of a successful franchise, it is a festering, sprite-flickering pustule of death-trap-laden level design. It is also a good example of how not to guide your player through the critical path of gameplay. Items you need to advance in the game are hidden, only to be found by jumping into random walls and spaces. I sacrifice Super Pitfall.
Into the void.
It was co-published by Pony Canyon and Activision and developed by Micronix. Micronix made intestinal polyps like 1942, Athena, and the slow as old people fuck Ikari Warriors. A reading from the back of the box. Join Pitfall Harry as he searches a vast subterranean cave dwelling high in the Andes. Harry's mission is simple. Recover the Raj Diamond. Interested in helping out? Perhaps a few details before you volunteer. You'll have to be in great shape. The full extent of these caves is unknown, and you must be prepared to explore every square foot to succeed. Ain't that the truth? So, a little dirt, a few cuts and bruises, and a total physical exhaustion doesn't scare you? Okay, how about poisonous frogs, bats, snakes, scorpions, tarantulas, cavemen, lava pits, and deadly condors? Oh, did we forget to mention Harry's niece, Rhonda, and his faithful companion, Quickclaw the lion? They're both trapped below and must be saved before you can leave the caves. Just a minor complication. Still with us? Good. Because it gets better and better. Over 270 screens loaded with danger and adventure. New enemies and challenges at every turn. Sound like your cup of tea? No. Then step forward and join Pitfall Harry in the greatest adventure of his career. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate Super Pitfall as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
This next shit-stain's idea of a clusterfuck was the creation of a swamp-assed programmer whose collision mechanic is so bad they obviously failed basic algebra. This game probably would get the Talisman of Absolution from music. There's no way it would save it from the bowels of hell. Another collection of miserable multi-game madness that includes beat-em-up, racing, and gunplay. Speaking of gunplay, when you kick, your leg looks like a giant penis. I sacrifice the adventures of Bayou Billy
Into the void.
This impotent excuse for a video game was released in North America in 1989. Surprisingly, this game was developed and published by none other than the legendary Konami, who was also responsible for a slew of fantastic games, such as the Castlevania and Contra series, Gradius, Life Force, Metal Gear. But this Forsaken game, it's like they wiped their ass and put a price tag on it. A reading from the back of the box. You're a ragin' Cajun on the tail of a swamp rat. For the first time ever, 3 of the most awesome action video experiences explode into one mean swamp-stompin' adventure. From zappin' mobsters and wrestlin' gators in muddy marshes to chasing through the streets of New Orleans, driving and a-shootin' in your road-huggin' 4-wheel drive's doom machine. You're up against it all. 'Cause that gangsta king of Bourbon Street has snatched your best girl, pretty little Annabelle, the sweetest honey around, and run her off to his heavily armed estate, a plantation filled with perils and pitfalls. So muster up courage and sharpen your foot-long blade. It's time to go hunting. But if you ain't careful, the prey will eat you alive, I guarantee. A reading from the back of the box. I hereby desecrate the adventures of Bayou Billy as forsaken. May its pixels be scattered for all eternity.
Forever scattered.
The time is nigh.
Archbishop, I have an officially licensed Nintendo cartridge carrying case from 1988 that would be fitting for their final destination with those that walk behind the scan lines.
Father Avram, you mean well, but your carrying case will fall into decay by ingesting such filthy shit. Let us now lift this sacred altar to the spires so as to wash away this filth, excommunicating them all to the ether, while we recite the incantation of sacrifice.
Please turn in your liturgies to page 6, section 66, and join us in the recitation of the Rite of the Forsaken.
By the power vested in the dark halls of miNEStry, we utterly cast out these relics of antiquity, accursed NES creations, condemned to oblivion. May their pixels dissolve into the void, banished from our sanctuary forever. Rise, altar of sacrifice, ascend amidst the powers of the universe, as we exorcise the spirits of obsolete entertainment from our realm. Be gone, foul abominations,
vanquished by the might of darkness and decay. Let the storm of oblivion consume the sanctuary of their lingering presence. Hail to the abyssal void, where only the shadows shall dwell in the realm of eternal night.
Oh my god, it worked! I can't believe it worked!
Carry our prayers upon the wings of Miyamoto's legacy, that his mercy may quickly come and lay hold of the LJNs, the Pony Canyons, Necksoft, casting them in chains into the abyss so that they can no longer seduce the players. Amen.